A key part of our mission is to promote community cohesion, and we did this through Plant It, Grow It, Eat It.
The original bid was a total of £350,000. £250,000 came from the National Lottery and the rest came from Kirklees Council and also from Kirklees Neighbourhood Housing. The purpose of the bid was to develop Plant It, Grow It, Eat It schemes in 8 areas of North Kirklees, 4 in Dewsbury and 4 in Batley. And the idea was that we would help people learn how to grow food and learn how to cook it.
The project always aimed to bring together the community through the community centres, through the short start centres, through the schools and through the local tenants and residents association, through their love of growing and eating food.
When we were putting the bid together, we were influenced by the success of schemes like Growing Newsham and Stirley Farm, and the people who volunteer and work on those projects were really helpful to us in putting the bid together. We found out we were awarded the money on the 11th of April 2011.
We delivered planting and growing on over 40 sites throughout North Kirklees.
Over the course of the 2.5 years, the project reached 7,400 people, and that ranged from those who were involved on a day-to-day basis in actually working on the projects and getting additional training and development, right through to people who received a packet of seeds at an event, grew vegetables or fruit in their own homes. People could come together, reducing isolation, so maybe meeting people that they didn't know before and forming new relationships, but then being able to learn how to grow food, know where it comes from, learn to cook healthy meals and share that experience with their neighbours and friends and new neighbours and new friends. What we really hope is that with Plant It, Grow It, Eat It we have left a legacy, that people will carry on growing food, and it may be something that they're not doing now, but it's something that they'll go back to in the future.
My name's Jenny Marchant. I'm a learning mentor at Carlingham Princess Royal School, and we're standing in the community garden at the back of Key Stage 2 playground. As I got more and more into the school garden and the after school clubs, I just thought we need to develop this because the kids were asking certain questions, about vegetables and so on, and how do we get the vegetables? So I thought we need to explain this to them, give them the full story. They need to see where the food actually comes from instead of thinking it came from a supermarket in a bag. And we got a few more dads involved, a couple of parents, some of the teachers got involved as well. And then we got Jerry involved, and he's just done brilliant. He's helped us so much with experience and all his knowledge, that he's passed on.
Plant It, Grow It and Eat It knocked on my door and asked me to get involved with them. We decided that we bought 24 fruit trees of various types. All the raised beds have been bought by Plant It.
We have some cabbages at the moment in, we have peas, we have strawberries, we have carrots, and then we've got some fruit trees at the bottom. We've got some apples, some pears and cherries with some gooseberries as well. They come out here, they pick the carrots and so on, but then go into the kitchen. We'll make the carrot soup. A lot of them have said, I would never normally eat this, but because they've actually seen it, they've planted it, they've sown the seeds, they've looked after them, they've picked them and now they're cooking them. There's children who have behaviour issues within school, and then they come up to the garden with the animals and it's just like a totally different child. It's amazing how an area like this can help. We have disabled children who also access the garden, who might not get a chance to normally do that in wheelchairs.
If I can get one child out of 100 to take up some form of gardening, then I think we've achieved. And that's what it's about, bringing that imagination back into life.
Grow is an organisation that works in school and the wider community across the Huddersfield area and across Kirklees in general. We run growing projects, encouraging children to use the outdoor space more creatively, and we link with the national curriculum. So some projects will be based in the garden, but we'll make direct links to the work that's going on in the classroom.
Today, Grow is at Spring Grove in Huddersfield. We're working with Year 3 at the moment, looking at the Tudors.
We are working with them playing a game called Dr. Aikenhead and His Herbs. And the game is basically, they have a lot of remedy cards which show herbal remedies that were used in Tudor times, and they have some patient cards of patients who have symptoms and they're having to find the right herb for the symptoms. At class before us, they already started looking at medicinal herbs and how the Tudors dealt with illness and helped with illness. So the link is direct. They've come straight from the classroom indoors where they've learnt from it, and now they're outdoors where they're surrounded by real living herbs. They've planted some herbs themselves, and now they're learning about what the remedy was. Then they'll go back into class this afternoon and continue the work that they've done. Normally what happens in situations like this is that will be linked to their literacy as well. So they'll probably write about what they've just done out here. From our experience of working with lots of different children across a wide range of different schools, different demographics, probably the thing that stands out most for me is the children who tend to be distracted in class, who have difficult focusing in class, quite often are our star pupils in Grow.
My name's Paul Moore, I'm the Community Development Worker at Kirklees Community Centre, and you're in the Kirklees Community Garden down at the centre. We just started with literally a couple of raised beds. This was all grassed, all this area. We got involved with the Plant It, Grow It, Eat It project 2-3 years ago, and they came in at a really crucial time where, although we'd got some initial funding, we were struggling for volunteers and to build up the garden club, and they came in and helped us do that and also provided some additional financial support. We'd got 3 volunteers that had come in through the Plant It, Grow It project, who'd then gone on to get jobs, which was a good success, but it's left us a little bit short on volunteers. We work with the kids on a weekly basis. We're building a chicken coop and a pen with the children. They're all going to get their own chickens, they're going to pick them and they're going to name them. Hopefully we're going to get between 6 and 8 to start with. The nursery are going to get involved, they're going to come and help look after it by collecting the eggs. We've got a couple of volunteers who will come and keep an eye on them at weekends. Kids kind of think that everything comes in a clean, sealed plastic bag from Asda. We've done a lot of cook and eat sessions, getting them used to eating fresh, healthy food. It's been a challenge. We had 2 parents in one week, and one of the parents said, "My daughter doesn't eat vegetables," like it was a badge of honour or something. So we've started in terms of, introducing fresh food as a regular part of the diet. I mean, it's only at a micro level in terms of we were only working with a dozen kids, but if you can replicate that across the site. I mean, what it has done is it's sparked a lot of interest within the school and the nursery, but we're hoping slowly by working with the school, the nursery, the shoe start, that we can just spark that kind of interest.
Seven years ago, the Yorkshire Wildlife Trust were looking for a base in Kirklees. At the same time, Kirklees were having trouble tenanting urban fringe farms. So this farm that we're standing at here, Stirling Community Farm, was a small dairy outfit. And that went into decline because of economic pressure. We approached Kirklees and they were interested in our concept to bring people into farming, into the countryside, and learn where their food comes from. Stirling Community Farm couldn't run without volunteers, and people come and they help to tend the veg gardens where we're standing.
Well, I've been coming, I think, getting on about 2.5, 3 years now. I started by coming into the garden, working in the garden,
and I came here because I'd reduced my working hours. I still work part-time. And I came here to work on the veg patch because with more time at home, I actually wanted to set up my own veg patch at home. You get so excited about it when you eat your very first vegetable.
Yeah, so it's been, it's quite useful to get some extra skills that you've not had before.
The vegetables from these gardens and the fruit from the orchard goes into our kitchen, so children from schools or members of the community can come and learn how to cook. We have distinct trainee schemes. People have come through doing accredited training in NVQs. And we have a regular programme of events, training, and that can all be found on our website and our Facebook.
I'm Sue Macklin and I work for Growing Works, and we have an allotment here in Wooldale. We have a group of people with mental health and learning difficulties who come and enjoy growing things, and we also cook what we grow.
This particular group is part of a project called Bud, and that's to support, it's a therapeutic enterprise.
I've been doing it for 4 years now, and I've been in gardening all my life. And
We've got a range of volunteers who initially might come to us as participants who might need support, but they eventually start to become a more permanent fixture, and so they volunteer with us. And that kind of gives them steps into either active involvement or in other things, or back into work.
It's really done me well the good, and if anybody asks me, I always turn around and say, well, get volunteering, it's the best thing you can do.
It's not just about growing veg, it's about getting people together, and a garden and growing is a mechanism to do that, and it works. That's why we call Growing Works.
Roy Newsom's a community of food growers in the Newsom ward of Huddersfield. Today's actually our 5th anniversary event, and it's our big plant swap that we have in May every year. And so we encourage people to bring things to swap. So we grow a lot of things to give away to people, but people also come in, you might have seen them today, coming in with big trays full of plants that they've grown at home, and it's about the fact that between us we have more, because you always have something you can share with other people.
I've just come to the plant swap because I brought some leftover plants from home that I don't need anymore. You get one pepper plant, you know, you think I might try and get 10 pepper plants going, and you get 100. So it's nice to just pass them on.
We've got some tomatoes, some Alicante tomatoes. We got quite a few different tomatoes.
Got honeysuckle from the garden.
A strawberry plant. Some strawberries.
Got 3 borage plants.
A couple of books. Black currants.
Got 4 celeriac plants.
Sweet pickled beetroot. And some carrot seeds.
And I've got 2 varieties of tomato that I've not grown before.
And some mixed currant jelly jam. It's homemade.
Growing Newsom's all about relationships really, and it's about those connections between people, and we found that the people who are connected through food growing have got quite a strong bond, and the people who have volunteered over the years and got to know each other and become friends, they really support each other week in, week out in lots of ways, and it's become not just about the food, it's about that kind of strongly connected community.
Welcome to the Manor Gardens. We've just started a project. We plant it, grow it and eat it. Before we started, this place was like a dumping area. We've had a lot of problems.
We even have cars burnt out over a period of time, and well, you name it, we've had it.
We had a lot of drug-related problems, drinking problems, and there was a lot of fire. People on the evening were very scared to come out. The only solution to this area was to give something back to the community. One of the first stages was, it took over 6 months just to clean up this area. Plant It, Grow It has given us the funding for the raised beds.
We've planted walnut trees, pear trees, crabapple trees, and various others. Well, I just can't mention, I forgot what we have actually. We've planted that many, haven't we?
Yeah.
And then with the raised bed site, which they've already planted garlic in, onions, thyme.
One of the reasons I've started this is getting the community together. There's a lot of different people from different parts of the world, living in this area. So all we're doing is we just want people to come here and feel it's open for everybody. It's no discrimination for nobody, and we want it to work for everybody.
The whole scheme was dreamt up by one of our members to turn this derelict piece of wasteland into a community plot.
We used to walk my daughter through the wasteland to school and had all this ground that was just basically doing nothing.
It was just weed.
Wasn't it? Yeah, weeds, and we just thought, what a perfect opportunity. So
the initial idea was that individual plot owners would be involved, but then the community centre got involved and we've managed to retain part of the site as a community site.
It's been totally transformed. It's still work in progress. So yeah, there's bits of new projects to do every year.
The initial funding came from Marks and Spencer's from their 5p carry bag scheme. Kirklees got involved quite early in establishing the site, and they put, I think, £5,000 worth of labour towards creating the footpath, which is on the outside of the fence there. The other grant that we've had was a £500 XL grant from Kirklees. We've half the plot that's been rented by the local school, Westmore Junior School, so they're involved. Most of the produce on the community plot is there for the community.
Yeah, if there's any surplus stock, surplus vegetables, we hand it out to local residents. I know it's 5 a day, but I probably eat 7 a day. So when we're cooking tea, we just come down to the allotment, pick what we need. You know, we don't need to harvest it straight away. We just pick it as and when.
we can just come up, have an hour, look what you're doing, and you're not overwhelmed by all this.
In this bay I've got carrots. I've got my strawberries here, which I haven't coloured yet, but they should do next week. I've got my onions in there. I've got garlic, leeks and onions. I've got my sweet corns, corn on the cobs. My Brussels sprouts, which will come in for Christmas dinner. I've got new potatoes, normal potatoes. I've got cabbages, they're my brassicas, so I've got cabbages, cauliflowers, broccolis, some rhubarb over there and some courgettes. That's it. It's changed my life basically. I was never green fingered, it has transformed my life.